Hi YouTubers, welcome back to EWI Tuesday. I dropped the ball last week, had certain things to do, and then all of a sudden I just ran out of time to actually do a video for EWI Tuesday. So I'm hoping that today's episode will make up for last week, because what you just heard is that it was a solo etude, a jazz etude that I wrote out over rhythm changes, and within it I was using a couple of lines and techniques, either just some standard bebop, a couple of lines I took from a Steve Coleman solo. I'll put a link to that solo in the description. It's on his M-Bass website. He's demonstrating a certain concept there. And I added some other alternate changes over rhythm changes here. Now, in this episode, I'm going to be dealing not only about a method what I usually like to use when I'm trying to, when I'm learning a new lick or learning a new line, how I integrate it into my playing. And just for EWI Tuesday, of course, this solo I had it. I had my EWI basically set to an alto saxophone transposition, so to E flat transposition, and I was playing the rhythm changes in so quasi in the alto key of G, so for the standard B flat, because that's what I originally wrote this solo in. To practice that. But of course, being the EWI, being it not a saxophone, there are certain different ways I had to learn to play this etude on the EWI, using also different fingerings, and I would like to cover that in today's episode. There'll be a link to a PDF copy of this etude in it, and with some description of certain places, what fingerings I'm using where. But I'm going to be also going through that in this video. So, but before we go on, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Like this video, and of course, please leave a comments. Again, comment. I always read all my comments. Getting back into it. So basically, this whole etude, I started out, like I said, let's just deal with the first 4 bars. It's standard rhythm changes with a 1-6-2-5, 3-6-2-5 progression in the first 4 bars. Now, the thing is here, the line itself. Now, nothing fantastic, nothing unusual there, but the fingerings are going to be, of course, different. Because then here, again, on the first bar, I'm using for the G sharp, I'm playing one of my favorite fingerings for G sharp is the A with the first finger depressed on the on the right hand. So I'm playing here. Now, why am I doing that there? Because my next note is the F. So by playing it this way, I'm already setting myself up to play the next note, the F, beforehand, and also I can avoid possibly missing my G sharp key or actually touching the second key along with it by mistake. So I try to play as many of the chromatic notes if I can without using the side fingers. Let's say, if I can avoid it, I do it. If there's other places where it's unavoidable, and there's other places where it's actually better to use that one, like with anything. So anyway, that's the first bar. The second bar is actually, I'm using total saxophone fingers with that. Third bar, I go back again. I'm also using that G sharp string. Plus, I'm using here this side key, where we usually know in the saxophone tune is more like of a B to C trill key, and also I'm also using it the same way from B to C. So, and again coming down using my G sharp this way. And then on that fourth bar, this is where a couple of different things happen, Here I'm playing the B flat as 1 and 2. And why? Because my next note after that B flat is an F sharp, and that sets me up for the F sharp. So there. Then you notice there too, I'm also using my forked E flat fingering to play there. Now I could play the forked fingering, I could play the saxophone fingering there. It actually, at that point, it doesn't matter. That was just my personal choice. Continuing on, in the fifth bar, where I'm playing over a D minor and G7. Now that I'm using regular saxophone fingering, that for the next couple of bars, actually bar 5 and bar 6, I'm just using regular saxophone fingerings for those bars. Now the next where it gets interesting is in bars 7 and 8, where I'm playing a couple of tritone tritone substitution, where I basically have a melodic line going there. I'm playing actually the changes B minor, B flat 7, A minor, D7, flat 9, flat 13, or the sharp 5, whatever you want to prefer to call it. So getting to the 7th bar, there I could play that connection C sharp to A, then C to A flat, instead of I could write. So the saxophone fingerings would be, but here using the EWI fingerings, I can do. That way, I make a faster transition there. So I'm actually playing bar 7 and bar 8. First on bar 7, I'm playing a B minor to a B flat minor, and bar 8 is a A minor to the D7, flat 9, flat 13, or flat 9, sharp 5, whatever you wished to refer to as. So then on the 7th bar, so I get there the transition actually quite easy. First of all, in comparison to saxophone fingerings, but then on EWI fingerings, I have a lot less movement there, a lot less fingers to use, because I'm playing the C over the B flat minor chord this way instead of this way. And then there I'm pressing, get the first two fingers on the left hand to get the A flat, and then just dropping the ring finger left hand to get to that F. So then I be able to play that whole bar actually without using any side keys. And then the next bar, the A minor, again playing my B flat as 1 and 2, because right after my B flat, I'm setting myself up to play F sharp. And there I'm using regular saxophone fingering for E flat there. So then those two bars, bar 7, bar 8. Getting now into my second 8 bars, where I'm using the changes. If you look at the PDF, hope you downloaded it in the meantime so you can follow along. In the video, I probably will have it set up next to me, at least partially, or down here, they'd be able to see the lines where I got there. There I'm playing the changes G, B flat 7, so a tritone substitution of my E7, A minor D7, so the first 2 bars, and what's over there, A minor D7. On the D7 flat 9, I'm just playing a chromatic enclosure there. There will just there, so and then on bars 3 and 4 of my second 8, then again I'm using B minor, B flat minor, A minor, D7. There, I'm playing it from the root, you know, from the B minor. Again, I'm avoiding using the side keys if I can. So there, after that, it's basically easy scaling saxophone fingerings again. And then for bars 5 and 6, I'm using solely saxophone fingerings in those bars. For the next bars 5, bar 6, bar 7, bar 8, I'm just using solely saxophone fingerings in those bars. Now I'm getting to the bridge. There, the first chord I'm using on the bridge, instead of the B7, I am using a tritone substitution of F7, but I'm also playing the 2 before. So I'm playing first a bar of C minor, then a bar of F7 that will resolve into the E7 on the 3rd bar of the bridge. And then from there, on the 4th bar of the bridge, in that E7 flat 9, there I'm using part of diminished scale. I'm using a what people often call a half-whole diminished scale on E. And then coming to the A7, I'm starting out on the sharp 11 and then resolving it to the 5th immediate. So I'm basically outside of that D sharp. After that, I'm just playing a regular A7 mixolydian. There again, I'm not really using any special EWI fingers on that in those first bars. I mean, I could. I mean, there on the F7, I was using my forked E flat. I like that one. Sometimes here, sometimes I'm using a regular saxophone G sharp, or I'm just going to use the EWI G sharp. And then getting up to the last 2 bars of the bridge, you see there I have a D7 going to a B flat minor to A minor, then A flat 7. And you're wondering, where did I get that? Well, you see, the main concentration was on the first and the last chords. Of course, the D7, which is actually usually be 2 bars of D7, basically. And the last chord was the A flat 7, which is the tritone substitution, going back into the last 8 bars. And all I did was, beforehand, I filled up the space chromatically using chromatic transition of chords like I did earlier in the solos. But then here I decided, for the choice of notes I wanted to use, I used upper extensions of the chords and also tried to have a coherent melodic passage going there. So then I was starting on that 7th bar, which I started the D7, playing the F sharp, and then there the melodic line is actually F, E, E flat, D. So that was just combining basically that chromatic line to a resolve to a D on the last 8 bars. I mean, to the beginning of the last 8 bars. So as long as your melodic line makes sense within itself, it doesn't matter as far as the chords that you're being used here. You could play, the rhythm section doesn't have to play chords with you. They don't have to do the same things, but as long as your melodic line makes sense, it'll work. So then here, the last 4 bars of the bridge, so that is just from the theoretical side, what's going on there. Fingering wise, what am I doing there? The easiest fingering to play an F minor triad, on the EWI, F, C, A flat, F, F, C. So, and so I'm playing. And then on the A minor, I'm playing a E minor triad over it. Just regular saxophone fingering there, nothing wild, And then playing an E minor triad over the A flat 7. Again, I'm just using regular saxophone fingering there, but like I said, what I'm using special E-wing fingerings there instead of playing regular saxophone fingerings. So then I'm taking advantage of using that as a C and that as an A flat. Now, good. Hopefully that's clear. Now let's move on to the last 8 bars of this etude. I started out the first 4 bars, the first 2 bars using Coltrane changes, going from G to B flat to E flat to F sharp, and then it will land on a B7 on my 3rd bar. So they're getting, as we know from giant steps changes there. So then I'm using. So then I'm using basically a pattern. Maybe some of you have heard it, maybe some of you know it. But anyway, I'm just playing basically the triads, or just playing actually just all chord tones over those changes, Then after that, landing on the B7, then I'm going through a dominant cycle. So just thinking about the bass movement there. So that is your bass movement there. So then with the line, there at the end of it, first on the 3rd bar, just again playing a common bebop lick. And then on the 4th bar, just using another bebop possibility there. And then coming up on the 5th bar of the last A, I'm playing G7, D flat 7 to C. Again, mixing in the tritone substitution before the C. It's just using saxophone fingerings. On the 5th bar, where I'm playing G7, D flat 7, so G7, the chord, the D flat, it's a tritone substitution, going to C7. And there, the only thing I'm doing there is over the D flat 7, there I'm playing my F, regular saxophone fingering, playing my forked fingering for E flat, and then going down just playing in B, and then also using my A flat fingering there, and then after that the E. Now, basically that's what I was just playing, the way I was doing it. Do you have to do it this way? No, of course not. You use whatever fingerings you feel comfortable with, but I like to display all this just to make possibilities clear about how you can improve your technique on the EWI by also expanding your knowledge of the different type of things you can use on the instrument. Getting back to the solo, coming there up to the C7 to the C sharp diminished 7 chord. Basically, I played just about the whole bar as a C7, you know, because those two chords are almost the same. So then I play, but here I'm playing C regular, but then I'm playing the B this way and then B flat. So again, as I explained in previous videos, you can lower just about any note here in the left hand by half step by adding fingerings on your right hand. So there I have this C, I have a B, I have a B flat. Then even here, I would wind up having an A, and then here also A flat. That's right. I mean, so actually I can go through that way. But then, you know, if I'm using saxophone fingering there, I could do it that way, sliding down from B and then down to the bis key. Or I could just do it this way. And then the last two bars, there I'm just using the saxophone fingerings there. This method, what I was just doing here with the jazz etude or the solo etude, you know, over some changes. And basically, this is the way I like to work in, first on saxophone, just like to when I'm learning new licks, instead of just playing just the lick itself, I put the lick in a form, in a standard, and I write around it in order to try to make that lick just first of all giving it a framework to make certain licks and techniques work organically into my playing by giving it a solo. And then what I'll do is what I didn't show now, I'll probably make a separate video also using this with saxophone, and what I'll do a little bit, I'll expunge on this theme a little bit farther. What I'll do is then I'll continue playing on the track, and then I will dip in and out of this etude and still improvising around it. And then at some point, or maybe maybe I'll just play almost a whole chorus free, and then I'll just get back and dip into certain parts of the solo where I want to work on certain licks or work on certain chord changes. You'll notice that once, if you develop this practice, you'll be able to learn whatever licks or patterns you're working on actually a lot faster, and faster in the way that it'll actually come out more naturally and also come out quicker into your normal playing. So right now I'm going to stop this video right there. I encourage you to try this technique. Hopefully in the future we'll get into using the side key, especially the hold button and also the interval button here as well. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next week for EWI Tuesday.